My name is John Davis, and I just can't chill. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of I Just Can't Chill. It's a weekly review of weekly events that have occurred throughout the week. We appreciate your time. We thank you for listening in through our YouTube channel, as well as subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. You can also follow us on Instagram at I Just Can't Chill. It's the Instagram page, excuse me. And then also hit us up on our email account at ijustcan'tchill@gmail.com. As we always do, we're going to give you a quick break to think about everything that you've done this week and everything that you're trying to accomplish. And we'll get right back into it. This is I Just Can't Chill with John Davis. Welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill podcast. I'm your host, John Davis. Hopefully you reflected on everything that you need to reflect on within that quick break. But let's get right into it, man. Goodness gracious. As we mentioned earlier on this podcast, a few episodes ago, we weren't exactly recording when the events of January 6th happened, but they happened nevertheless. And, while we deal with the aftermath of that, a lot of people are still in the dark about who, what, when, where, and how. And while we still try to pick up the pieces with that, as I mentioned in the earlier recordings, there were some talks on creating a commission to try to answer those questions about, how this atrocity, well, not even, just pure ignorance, occurred in our nation's capital on January 6th. But nevertheless, again, it looks like this commission might possibly happen again, barring a few more vetting of, representatives and politicians who will be on this panel by Speaker of the House, Ms. Nancy Pelosi. We'll see what happens with that. She's already said that at least two guys won't be on this commission. And that'll be Representative Jim Jordan and Jim Banks. So both those two Jims can snap themselves out of this convo. And if you know anything about, particularly Jim Jordan, why would you want him to be anywhere near a mic? I've seen him at the Kavanaugh hearing, as well as the Facebook hearing with Mr. Zuckerberg, and again, Brett Kavanaugh. It's a confirmation commission as well for that he was a part of. Nevertheless, Jim Jordan is not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. So I wouldn't want to see him anywhere near Mike, in particularly this. Um, Now, again, it'll be interesting to see, who she selects. Um, Again, although there have been talks about her, particularly from Mr. McCarthy, accusing her of playing politics. I mean, it's going to happen regardless, guys. But it does put you in a rut because, I mean, geez, somebody did something that was really fucked up. And so we got to hold them accountable. Um, Whatever side of the spectrum you're on politically, we'll see what happens. So, um, yeah, that's back on the table, man. I mean, for me personally, I really don't think there's too much thought that should be put into it, in particularly a commission to find out about who is there. I think this should be left up to, some other industries, outlets, organizations to basically do their damn job and find out who is there. Let's not have them in front of TV getting, free pub, so to speak, why they did it and all of that. We don't want to, I mean, everyone's going to get humanized eventually, but we don't want to get these guys who just decided to do something dumb, which it was, to do something dumb. Excuse me, guys and girls. We don't want to give them too much play on this. I mean, just, everyone else was at work. Why weren't you? Dummies. Um, so yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. So we'll see that. Also want to definitely keep keep ourselves aware of the rising COVID numbers. We'll talk about that in a few. But it's looking like the numbers are growing. Vaccines are available, but it's your choice, man. And I'll speak on that a little bit later. But I think that's all we have right now for our little political garb. We'll take a quick break and be right back with I Just Can't Chill. I'm your host, John Davis. Welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill podcast. I'm your host, John Davis. We appreciate you all for tuning in for another episode. Now, I know we haven't had guests in these past two episodes, but as we get ready to close this season of the show, not sure if you are aware of that, but yeah, this will possibly, we're going to take a quick breather and get back to the drawing board with some things. I know you guys are mad, but it's for the best. And again, we want to make this show better. We're going to keep getting it better for you guys. And so we thank you all for listening. Again, we want to definitely give a shout out to all the guests we've had on the show so far this season. Whether it be Mr. Jordan Hill from Peace Buzz CBD, Miss Angelica Mitchell with her messaging and explanation of policing in America. We also wanted to thank Mr. Low Frequency, up-and-coming producer extraordinaire, for showcasing his beats and just talking about the aspects of the low frequency hip-hop genre. And Habitual Line Steppers is, it's always love here with those guys. Check those guys out, fellow podcasters of this network, so to speak. And of course, learning with Miss Bab. It's no better way to reach out to people other than by teaching them and reaching them. and especially for our youth, for our children, for those who have children. We're thankful for her for being a resource for all of those who want to learn and, get ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. So yeah, guys. While that is on the horizon, we will take that break. We still got time here, so they ain't kick us out the club yet. But nevertheless, we don't have a guest today, but hold on. I think they're coming through the door right now. Our next guest. Hold on. Let's see who he is. Oh, wait. Let's see. Is he coming through? Is he coming through? Is he coming through? There he is. There he is. He's here. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. He is here. He is here. And that would be no other than myself. That would be no other than myself. No, okay, it's okay to hate. But nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and just give my 2 cents on what everyone's been talking about, possibly within the last 24 hours. Mr. West is in the building. Kanye West, it is Yeezy season again. One of our most ignatic irritants within this nation is back again. But, it's not anything outside of music, which is something that I am pleading for him to stop doing. But nevertheless, he's back. And he had a listening event in Atlanta yesterday for his 10th studio album, I believe, entitled Donda, named after his late mother, who passed away in 2007. Now, again, Kanye, being who he is, I've been a fan of his music since I was a young child. I want to say maybe middle school. I don't want to date myself too long, but he's back. Kanye's back, and in between this time frame of where he's been in the news for things outside of music, it's good to see him back doing what he loves. I know he's had some personal issues going on with his family, but this event was held virtually as well. So for those of you who were at the event, please, don't feel free to send us some souvenirs from that event for the IJCC time capsule. But I was a virtual attendee of this event, and just off listening to the music, it's definitely not anything. Well, first of all, Kanye will always bring something new musically and sound-wise, acoustically, to anything that he's going to distribute to the masses. So on that front, it was, true to his nature to present us with new sounds. I also was very, very delighted to hear one of the songs that had been, running around the internet, 80 Degrees. If you guys have been fans of Kanye like me, you've been waiting for that track to drop. He's featured Lil Baby on the song as well. And, if you're not familiar with Lil Baby, he's one of the up-and-coming, not up-and-coming, he's here. He's pretty much got a massive chokehold on the rap hip-hop industry, possibly the new voice of the generation. Well, he is. And, it was just good to hear that song at least. But, there are, still trimmings that need to be done to the album. And so it's not released yet in full quality sound, so we'll just have to wait for it. However long it takes. You guys know Kanye by now, whether it's musically or outside of the music industry. He won't do it until it fits him, until he thinks it's good enough. And that's something you have to admire about him, whether you are not a fan of him personally. He wants to make it to his liking. I think we all want to do that some way in our lives. If not, find something about yourself. But nevertheless, the album is I guess, en route. It's en route, man. Also, Jay-Z's on the album. Hova, Beyonce's husband. He'll be on the album. So we'll just have to wait to see. The quality is definitely going to be different from those. It'll be different from hearing it if you were there physically, and for those who were there virtually, it'll be different. But we're waiting for it. It's the easy season, ladies and gentlemen. Get your raincoat because you don't want to get rained on. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the I Just Can't Chill podcast. I'm your host, John Davis. As we always do here, as we prepare to close this final episode of season 2, we delve into our sports world, everything pertaining to sports. Before we begin on that, definitely want to give a shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, 2021 NBA Finals champions. They defeated the Phoenix Suns 4-2. And that was done on Tuesday. Just a dominant performance by Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. I mentioned it last episode, man. His style of play will be definitely etched in history as one of the most unique styles and dominant, of course, that some of you have seen. The numbers reflect that, and of course the resume at this point will reflect that as well. How far it goes, who knows? But let's enjoy this moment. Let's give the team his flowers as well. Shout out to all the players: Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, Raleigh native; Chris Middleton, Charleston, South Carolina native, and any other players that might be attached to some of my favorite regions. Jeff Teague, Drew Holiday, Brooke Lopez, Bobby Portis. Shout out to Little Rock, Arkansas. It's a good team, man. I really liked how they showed their resolve. Being down 2 games to 0, they fought back. Even in games where they were down by a large margin, points-wise, they came back and fought hard. All praise to them. And again, we'll see how it goes. But, as that season ends in basketball, we're right back at it with the NFL. Now, they've already kicked off their season, and particularly in a way that will definitely set the tone for everyone going forward. And again, when we started the podcast, we were just now seeing sports come back into the fold. But it'll be particularly interesting now as the NFL has announced that they will now penalize teams for potential COVID outbreaks as COVID comes back onto the scales and rise for the people in this country. Man, I know in particularly that this is a topic that a lot of players who are playing right now didn't want to find themselves in terms of pickling their way out of deciding to take certain measures to prevent themselves from contacting COVID and the virus. But, it is what it is. These are the rules that they've placed. I would just defend them on the concept of calling them anti-vaxxers, and then on that same front, politicizing them as people who are leaning towards one way or another. I mean, we're talking about guys who already risked their lives anyway, you know, at any level. And so, if they feel that they don't want to take these measures to, ensure that they're safe, I will honestly think that the NFL should find some type of common ground to, acquiesce that type of concern. And I know on their end as well, they will want to keep all of those who are taking more proactive measures than those who are taking the same amount as those who are into consideration. So, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, you hate for this to happen because, if you're a follower of the game, those who like the sport of football, you just want to see the ball kicked off and we get it going. We line up formation to formation, but COVID is back on the rise, man, and it sucks, but that's just the mess we're in right now. We got to clean it up. Again, vaccines are available to everyone still. So if you would like to call your local, hub or any type of centers who are offering the vaccine, please consider it. But again, there is information out for you to, consider about what type of vaccine you would want to take, what brand vaccine you would want to take as well. So, I don't think we need to, box these gentlemen within a landscape. If I was in the NFL, I wouldn't want to box these gentlemen within a landscape of having them make a decision that, they would have to think long and hard for the safety of their families, and not even the safety of their families, but the future of their families. And we're already seeing the residuals of this mandate. Again, this mandate will possibly not allow players teams will not be allowed to play in games. They will forfeit games as well as salaries if there is a COVID outbreak within the locker rooms or in the facilities of these NFL teams. So, we're already seeing some teams, coaches come out and say, all our teams are vaccinated. And, I'm not here to call them out their name or, let them know, say that they're telling stories, but, it just is what it is. You have to take their word for it. I definitely think that's where we're headed with this conversation about which teams are vaccinated or not, or which players are vaccinated or not. I mean, this is some high stakes football going on, particularly with the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. They completed their celebratory ring ceremony yesterday. If you've seen those rings, I mean, to me, they're a little bit OD. But, if you weren't on that team, you would want to get a ring like that as well. And, this obstacle in terms of making sure that players are safe, solely to the benefit of the competition of the sport, is very, very tricky. And, players, I know they're on the fence about their own safety while they're on the field, but off the field, this will be something that they'll have to consider. And, man, it's just, it's something else, I tell you, boy. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely also want to give a shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We didn't give them a shout out, so we're giving them a shout out now. They are the NHL Stanley Cup champions. So shout out to them. We still got MLB going on. And, yeah, man, sports is still the ball is still turning as the ball turns. And yeah, all your sports needs, make sure you check out Habitual Line Steppers podcast. We thank them for joining us this season, and all that they've done for us. Some great content. You can check them out as we continue to build this network of great podcasters for everyone who's just tired of the BS. All right. We'll be back to close the show. You're listening to I Just Can't Chill with John Davis. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, we've come to the end of this episode of I Just Can't Chill, Season 2. Again, we thank everybody who has listened, subscribed, followed. We're coming back, baby. We're coming back stronger and better than ever. You might see some visuals. Who knows? You want to see my face? We'll see how that goes, but we'll definitely be back. Hopefully you all are still enjoying your summer. And again, staying safe as much as you can. But again, we definitely thank everyone who has helped us this season. Again, Miss Angelica Mitchell, thank you with your advocating and a deep inside look of policing. We thank her for that. Shouts to Jordan Hill, Peace Buzz and CBD. Thank you, my brother. Low Frequency, thanks again, my friend, for coming on and showing your skills. And Miss Yolanda Babb, Future Doctor. The resource for the children, because IJCC is for the children. And everyone else, again, the subscribers, supporters, we appreciate you. Much love. Man. Thanks to the producers again for this season. Behind the boards, my man G, he always does a good job for me. I finally said his name. You guys got me. But G, thanks again for your production and support this year. Again, shout out to Sankofa Farms. And, guys. While we're still waiting, if you're in any of these states that are participating in any midterm elections, make sure you go out and vote. You can't forget about that. It's your right, family. And one more thing, man. Don't forget to pay your bills. And remember, I just can't chill. Peace. We'll see you soon.